Hello again, I am Blighty, and I had full-on expected to be talking about Wilds each and every single time for at least the next 6 months. Whenever the words Monster Hunter came out of my mouth, it was going to be me making content about Monster Hunter Wilds. But hey, check this out. It's a new Monster Hunter game just announced, and it's on mobile, as if you couldn't tell from the graphics. And aside from the surprise announcement of it right in the middle of hype season for Wilds, it's got some interesting things going on that are not very traditional Monster Hunter, like hang gliders and people cannon transports, and who knows what other gimmickry is going on. But it is also undeniably also quite Monster Hunter, isn't it? We've actually known this was on its way for a couple of years now. A Monster Hunter mobile game co-developed by Capcom and TiMi Studio Group has been no secret. The partnership was officially announced in like 2022 or whatever. In fact, it was one of 2 mobile games under the Monster Hunter brand we knew were coming. One of them launched a little over a year ago already. And with the disappointingly shitty, sloppy, grindy, typically gross, hostile, mobile, MTX-infected Monster Hunter Now mobile game from Niantic, pretty much utterly failing to catch any ongoing enthusiasm from the core Monster Hunter player base, any hopes for a Monster Hunter game on mobile that actually delivers a gaming experience that genuinely feels like a real Monster Hunter game, instead of Monster Hunter graphics being cynically slapped on top of something not Monster Hunter-y, now rested with the second one. We knew very little about it up until last night, and now we have a trailer, several short gameplay clips, and a small pile of screenshots. This new game has been announced as Monster Hunter Outlanders, which will very much annoy the player base, I'm sure, as MHO is already an abbreviation we use to talk about a now long-defunct Chinese-only Monster Hunter Online that lived from 2013 to 2019. Oh well, we're already dealing with Monster Hunter Wilds needing an abbreviation tweak because Monster Hunter World already has MHW. Bloody hell, Capcom, would you just go easy on the player base? We like to use acronyms to make communication snappier. Just stop. Come on. In any case, Monster Hunter Outlanders might just deliver what we actually want from a Monster Hunter mobile game, promising an open world to roam and supposedly designed to deliver a, quote, authentic Monster Hunter experience. And while almost none of the clips frustratingly, infuriatingly, bewilderingly actually show footage of monster hunting combat, they do claim it'll feature the combat systems we expect from Monster Hunter and full cooperative gameplay for up to 4 players, just like a proper Monster Hunter game, with gameplay focusing on exploration, hunting, and crafting, just like a proper Monster Hunter game. But as you may also expect from a mobile game out of TiMi Studio, who are owned by the infamous Tencent, by the way, in case you didn't know, it will be a live service game, deep sigh, and no doubt be heavily actively monetized with so-called microtransactions. We have no release date yet, nor even a release window, but they are planning to playtest in order to gather player feedback, so that's at least promising. They might listen to us. But at the very least, unlike previous Monster Hunter mobile titles, Outlanders does already seem to aim for that authentic experience, a lot closer to the main series games, roaming, action combat RPG and stuff. TiMi Studios are already kind of high profile and have been for quite some time, being behind such mobile titles as Call of Duty Mobile and Pokemon Unite, amongst others. And while it's been a very long time since Call of Duty has been even slightly interesting to me, I do know as a Pokemon fan that Pokemon Unite is heavily criticized for its extremely gross and hostile monetization systems. So that doesn't bode well, does it? And we already know from Monster Hunter Now that Capcom have no interest at all in putting on any kind of leash or brakes on their mobile game developer partners when it comes to being scummy about MTX, because Monster Hunter Now is gross. And while the main series games like World, Iceborne, Rise, and Sunbreak have all had MTX crap, that's just tons and tons and tons of microtransaction stuff, it's almost exclusively cosmetic and nothing tied to gameplay at all, with the exception to that being perhaps character edit vouchers, which should be unlimited and free in any self-respecting game with character creator in my opinion, but whatevs. But for the most part, it's skins and stickers and emotes and all that kind of stuff, you know. It remains to be seen if this new mobile game, claiming to be faithful to the real Monster Hunter experience, is also going to be faithful to how Capcom monetize their other Monster Hunter games. Coming out of a Chinese mobile developer with a 10-cent overlord, I would not hold your breath on that. That said, I'm not prepared to write it off completely just for that. It's possible it could be interesting and fun and playable without feeling forced to engage in microtransactions. I am, however, going in extremely cynical, as you might be able to pick up by my tone already. Long experience of watching mobile gaming since its birth has taught me that much. Anyone who gives a mobile game developer any good faith or benefit of the doubt is a bit of a fool at this point. But from what we've seen, the gameplay itself does look promisingly faithful, doesn't it? You've been staring at it for a while now. The world looks right, the monsters look right, the armor, the weapons, the brief glimpses of combat look right, the promise of traditional 4-player co-op hunting and whatnot all feels right, and it looks like, unlike MH Now's tap and swipe mobile dipshittery, this might have a proper control scheme, with, one hopes, physical control support built in. Because on-screen stick and button controls are cancer, and I can't deal with that because I'm old school. Maybe you damn kids have adapted to it, but I dare you to tell me it's better than actual physical controls. Something else I noticed about the gameplay we've seen so far, that there's just a shit ton of hideous, sickening, smeary motion blur in a lot of the gameplay shown, so I hope that's an option I can turn off, because that does make me physically sick. But yeah, cynicism aside, well actually no, not cynicism aside, cynicism in my pockets. I will be keeping an eye on this. I don't have a lot of hope it will be genuinely Monster Hunter without being interfered with by typical mobile shenanigans, but at first glance it does look right. So I will give it a go on its own merits to impress me or enrage me, whichever comes first. Release date is a big question though, with Wild sitting in just a couple of months and the recent beta proving that it's going to be an enormous deal, just a massive game, and with Monster Hunter games having a long tail for ongoing activity and ongoing content delivery, just carving out room to launch a mobile game sharing the same genre will be tough enough. I would wager we're probably a year away from this thing having room to launch proper. But then again, maybe they're counting on just capitalizing on markets that already soak more heavily in the putrid, stinking swamps of mobile gaming already, instead of just winning over actual Monster Hunter players. Because I can't see myself splitting my time between Wilds and a mobile Me Too. But I guess we'll see. We're out of the shadows now and into the spotlight, so yeah, we'll just keep an eye, I guess. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always to the patrons, and I will catch you next time.